This is Miroslav Filipovich, the evil priest of the Jasenovac concentration camp during the reign of the Ustasha in the so-called independent state of Croatia during World War II. Miroslav was a Croatian Franciscan friar priest of the Catholic Church who participated in horrific atrocities during World War II. Miroslav was a member of the Ustasha, a criminal organization that was installed as a puppet state by the Germans in what would be called the independent state of Croatia. Before Miroslav arrived to the Jasenovac concentration camp, he participated in several major criminal operations against Serbian civilians, including one in the settlement of Drakulic on the northern outskirts of Banja Luka, and in two neighboring villages, Motice and Shargovac. This horrific operation saw the execution of 2,300 Serb civilians, most of them women and children, and the majority of the executions were done with axes or pickaxes. And this two-legged beast was so brutal that even the Germans court-martialed him and put him in jail because of the brutality of the executions that he committed. And remember, this was a priest. Can you believe that? Unfortunately, Miroslav was quickly released through the direct intervention of Jekoslav Luburic, who was the head of the internal security of the Ustasha, which was responsible for administering the system of concentration camps in the independent state of Croatia. After being released, Miroslav will be posted at the Jasenovac concentration camp, one of the most horrific concentration camps during World War II. And this is where Miroslav will earn the nickname Fra Sotona, Brother Satan, because of his extreme brutality and extreme hate for the Serbian people. So how did a so-called man of God be so evil against his fellow human beings? Unfortunately, the hate against Serbs was so extreme during this time that even priests harbored this extreme form of hatred against Serbs. At Jasenovac, Miroslav will be primarily responsible for mass executions. There was a book written by former Jewish prisoner Egon Berger in his book 44 Months in Jasenovac, and he was a witness to the brutality of Miroslav. Here is a quote from the book. The priestly face of Miroslav, all made up in powder, dressed in an elegant suit and green hunter's hat, watched with delight the victims. He approached the children and even stroked their heads. He was accompanied by Lubo Miloš and Ivica Maktovic. Miroslav told the mothers that there will now be a baptism for their children. They took the children from their mothers, and the child whom Miroslav was carrying, in this child's innocence, he caressed the painted face of his executioner. The mothers, distraught, perceived the situation. They offered their lives for mercy for their children. 2 children were placed on the ground, while the third was thrown like a ball into the air. I cannot continue to describe what happened here because it is so graphic and brutal, it will be too much for this app. But these monsters placed bets on how they executed Serbian children while their mothers watched. There are so many horrific stories in the book 44 Months in Jasenovac that I will have to make a second part just to focus on Miroslav Filipovic, the evil priest of Jasenovac concentration camp. Stay tuned for part 2.